Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm joined by Josh Ortega and Mauricio Garcia. And guys, we got to talk about the Texas Rangers as their season is unfortunately coming to a close. Just 2 series left. They start their final one tonight against Minnesota. And when we were here last week, we were saying, all right, Texas, they're in this. Yeah. Maybe they can fight for that wild card, maybe even a divisional spot. And then, man, guys, a 7-game losing streak since then. I'm not sure if it's because we talked about it. Don't blame us. But, Josh, what have you seen from the Rangers in this last week?
It's just been bad. I mean, get swept by the Astros, which is a tough team in baseball, but then by the Marlins. Sorry. Yep. Jeez, I mean, just rough to watch. Just not good baseball. Inconsistent offense. Just not good at all. The pitching's been good. It's been good all year, but this offense has just been something you just don't want to watch every single game.
Yeah, we're watching these highlights through the Astros series, and this was one where it's like you control your own destiny. Yeah. This is you against Houston. They're in second place. You have a chance to overtake them for that wild card spot, maybe even push for the division. Instead, you get swept, and then you just get swept by Miami, and then it's all kind of gotten back to where we are right now, which is really on the fringe of elimination. Mauricio, what happened with the Rangers? Where'd they fall?
I mean, you can look up and down at this roster and be like, you have the names there, but like, why not? When we look into the IL list, you have these big names in the pitching staff: John Gray, Josh Sborz, Nathan Eovaldi, and Cody Bradford, who at the beginning of the season was like electric. You know, he was really setting the standard for the Rangers pitching. And then also with like key players, Simeon, Garcia being day-to-day, Seager, Sim Haggerty, and Carter. Like, these are like names that like should be on the roster, you know? But then like, we look at the resurgence that happened too with that 6-game winning streak we had, like with the Little Rascals. Like, where have they been? Yeah. Like, did they just get departed or something? Like, it's so it's so confusing to look at this offense and we just look at their like offense as well. They're ranked 20th and they're ranked below 20th in runs, hits, and batting average. Right? Pitching first in ERA, first in earned runs, and first in runs. Yeah. Like, it's so confusing to see this team, and especially with the stretch they're having, like what are they going to do now?
Yeah, it's rough because I remember even back in the spring, the Rangers had gotten off to a start. It was just like, pitching's great if the bats can just get going. And I remember week by week, month by month, it's like, now the bats are going to get going. And unfortunately, they just never did. Mm-hmm. You know, we had, like you said, with the Little Rascals, we talked about that last week. It was a good stretch. Yeah. They found a way to kind of find a way, especially with all these injuries. But in the end, I think it just kind of proved that it was nice. It was like a Linsanity run in a way. But in the end of the day, this is the result. You just got swept by the Marlins, 79-77 at this point, and now you're just fighting for your life. You have a series against the Guardians. They're kind of in that last wild card spot right now. So it's like, in theory, if you win out, they lose out, maybe. But I think, end of the day, this week and this month, should I say, has kind of been the epitome of the Rangers season. Yeah. We've seen the ups, we've seen the downs, and at the end of the day, it feels like we're going to come up just short. Josh, where do the Rangers go from here?
I mean, at this point, you're looking for positives. You're looking for something to go into the offseason that marks away all the question marks, right? You're just, if anything, you're even thinking about if Bounchy's going to be back. Exactly. You know, there were so many rumors about him, whether or not he's going to come back. In June, there were talks about maybe he's going to go into retirement, and he should. He's a first ballot Hall of Fame coach. Yep. He's proved everything in baseball. There's a lot of question marks around this team. Really, if anything, you got to keep the pitches together. You got to see what the Little Rascals can do towards the end of the season, if they can fight for a couple roster spots towards the end of 2026. But really, just answer all the question marks, play for pride, and try and beat that 0.1% chance of making the playoffs.
Yep, and hey, it's there. The Mavs won the lottery at 1-something%. So hey, you're saying there's a chance, Mauricio. Is there a chance, or do you think this is the end?
I mean, you just have to hope Houston loses out and Boston loses out, and you're telling this to like 2 teams who are in a divisional spot or going for that wild card spot, and it's too much hope. We're like so much in like the percentage of like in like the single digits to make the playoffs. Even like we're like 0% to win the division. Like, it's that bad, and I think we just got to look in the future. Yeah. We got to look in the future. We have to look at our off-season hopes and all that. I'm really hoping Chris Young does wake up as a GM to be able to make some trades. You know, like towards the deadline this year, we've heard rumors about possibly a Simeon trade, which, look, people might get mad. I would not be mad if Simeon does get traded, okay? We do need some, like, depth in this roster because I cannot keep going, seeing this stat about him being in games, all right? What is he doing in these games to, like, be able to help that, you know?
Yeah, and both him and Garcia were both subject to trade rumors this past deadline. It didn't end up happening. You ended up acquiring Merrill Kelly and a few other relievers, Danny Coulombe, and oh man, I'm slipping on the last name. Guys, sorry about that. But you found they really tried to fight.
Yep.
They tried to find a way to sneak into these playoffs, and I give them credit because CY is one that is always going to find a way to at least try to make those moves. But now going to the offseason, I'll ask you, Josh, what do you think the priority should be for Texas?
I think right now it's really spending all that money that you have. You have really around the top 10 not top 10, but around a good 10 amount of money. So like a couple million to spend with. It's fitting those pieces that you know you need. It's fixing this offense, and it's keeping this pitching group somewhat together. That's been the strength of this team. That's been really what you need to focus on the offseason, besides the hitting. But I'm going to ask you, Steven, do you think they move on from Adolis?
Oh man, I don't think that initially. I don't know. I don't think that it's going to be like offseason starts and you trade him or unload him. I think that he starts the season as a Ranger. I think next trade deadline is really what we're going to have to look, see where the Rangers are at that point. But beyond players, you talked about Bruce Bochy. Contract is expiring this season. He's had a very turbulent 3 years here. Obviously starts off with championship. You win the World Series. Now it looks like you're going to miss the playoffs for the second straight year. Mauricio, I'll ask you, what is the future for Bochy in Texas?
I mean, just going up to what Josh said earlier, I mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer for being a coach. I mean, it's one of those opportunities you don't get to see a lot in your coaching career. I mean, do we move on for Bruce Bochy? I feel like we could move on from him, you know, but if Chris Young does see like a few more years ahead of him, then I'd say let's ride with Young, you know. But if not, then we have to move on for Bochy. You know, he has gave us like a World Series win, but in the abstract of it, we do have to like see what our other options are at this point.
Yeah, we're going to have to see because it's been interesting. Will Venable was your assistant manager for the last few years. It really felt like maybe he was going to be the one to take the reins. He was hired by the White Sox last season, so that option's kind of gone. Josh, if it's not Bochy, who would you like to see managing the Rangers?
I had two. I had Skip Shoemaker and Bobby Wilson. I think those are two of just one of the guys that are, you know, on that list. It's so hard because Bochy's Bochy.
I know.
It's like replacing somebody like Belichick, right? And we see that with the Patriots now with Vrabel, but like it's so hard. Skip and Bobby are probably two guys at the top of my list. If the Rangers are going to target anybody, it's those two.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Mauricio, anyone you have in mind, or do you think maybe Bochy says one more year?
I mean, he gave us a World Series, and I feel like he does do it for one more year. That's my honest opinion, you know, trying to help the team as much as he can, but it's up in the air at this point for him.
Yeah, you hate to finish on that, but it's tough. And I want to go around the league just a little bit because we're approaching October now. The playoffs are almost here. I'll ask you guys, I'll start with you, Josh. What are some of your biggest threats around the league?
I think right now, I really like what the Phillies are doing. I think that for me, they're one of the best teams in baseball. I think the combination of health right now heading into October is really good. I think if they can hold on to that bye, it is a huge factor for them. They could get either one of the Dodgers or the Reds if they hold on to that bye, and they've had a really nice series with the Dodgers this season. So I'm looking at them. Their outfield platoon is really good. Their system is nice. It's helped them all year. I really like the Phillies in this offseason to kind of make a run.
Yeah, hey, we'll see. Not off-season, but
not off-season, not yet. Postseason. Close enough.
Already ending it for Philadelphia. Mauricio, who do you think maybe has a chance for it this year?
Kind of like a screwball over here, you know. Seattle Mariners do look like the team to beat. They just swept the Astros recently. They're popping off right now. You already know. I mean, Cal O'Reilly, runner-up for the MVP right now in the AL. I mean, this team, the pitching rotation right now is insane. I mean, rosters up and down. Like, you look at them, it's just they're really like on that track. And if they win this division, you know, it's gonna be able to help them push up, get them into the divisional round. You know, be able to move on in advance. I feel like the Seattle Mariners could make noise right now.
Yeah, it could certainly happen. 9-1 in their last 10 games. So hey, we'll have to watch out for Seattle. But now we're gonna go into our final block and talk about some of our favorite jerseys around sports.